excited today because after days and days of prerequisites, we are finally at the kettlebell snatch. Now, I know you're going to feel so comfortable and good with this, even though we're presenting new information today, because of how much time we spent on those prereqs. So let's dive right in. The first thing that we're going to start with is the ending position of that snatch. So today we're going to go over the down part of the snatch, okay? Don't even worry about the up part of the snatch. It's all about how do you cast the bell back down. Now, I'm going to show you just a few reps of this so that you can see it. And that's what we'll be working on today, okay? So clean up, overhead press, and snatch it down, back down to the floor. So hike down to the floor. Now let's talk about what happened there. So when I was up here, something happened, and then my elbow bent down, and I went through my legs. What happened there is what we're going to talk about. We're going to break down the mechanics. Now, we know that the clean is close, that the swing is out here, and that the snatch, whether you're going up or down, is directly with your midline and a bent elbow. I find storytelling is the best way for people to learn, right? So is kind of connecting something to something else. So here are a collection of some of the best cues that I've heard for that down part of the snatch for things to start clicking with this bent elbow. So, without further ado, here's the collection. Number 1, pour the pitcher. Pour the pitcher. So if you were pouring a pitcher of iced tea for somebody, woo, from up here, you'd start to pour it out and then bring it on down. Number 2, swimming. So you're doing, I don't really swim, but you're doing that breaststroke or breaststroke. What's it called? Yeah, anyways, boom, right down the middle comes your hand with a bent elbow. It's crazy how many different things make this movement. The next one is to unzip the jacket. So you're going to start here with your palm forward, but then you're slightly rotating that hand so that you can pull the zipper down and unzip the jacket. Zip it up, zip it down. This jacket just happens to be a little further out, and you're zipping it down. Then we have a little wax on, wax off. We're painting a wall, so the brush stroke goes up and down. And so obviously for this one, you're gonna hold the paintbrush and bring it down, like Picasso. Yes? Then we have shut the garage door. So let's say you have this big garage door up here and you're like, ugh, gotta shut it. Shut the garage door, okay? So that's another one. One is shoot a basketball free throw. I don't like that. This is just for like the top part. I think people say you're supposed to start with your palm up, everything locked out. And if you think about shooting a basketball free throw to get that right angle with the bell, except it's not entirely accurate. These people clearly didn't play basketball because when you shoot a free throw, it's fingers down. However, the snatch, it's a slight turn of the pinky to the front of the room and then a pour of the pitcher. So we don't really like the free throw one. If you hear that, not exactly accurate. And finally, one of my favorite cues is probably throw it to the belly. Literally, just like throw it down towards your belly. Not obviously so you hit it, but that's the line of the motion, or kind of like throwing it through the stomach so that you can remember to keep it midline. So what we just talked about is everything that brings the bell from here, and then you want to think shutting the garage door, unzipping the jacket, pouring your pitcher of tea or lemonade, boom. So that it comes down with your elbow bent at your midline, somewhere between that snatch and swing, and that is taming the arc, okay? So it's very important to understand how does this happen at that very, very, very top moment. So at the top moment, our hand is locked out. We snatched it up, or cleaned it up, and then overhead press, and it landed up here. I could wave at you, hi, because it's on our diagonal that we've talked about a lot this week. Now, to initiate the pour the pitcher, or to initiate the painting, wax on, wax off, I'm going to bring my pinky closer to the front. So I go from palm this way, sort of to like palm facing to the side, because I'm grabbing that pinky right here. So as I'm grabbing the pinky and the pinky's up here, what's gonna happen with that rotation is this is where I'm gonna start to get a little elbow bend until it transfers back to my hook grip. So you can see that there is a clear progression when I'm up there of from here, pinky goes, pinky goes, pinky goes, pour the pitcher, pour the pitcher, pour the pitcher, hook grip, okay? I think that's the biggest thing is people forget that just like in the clean where you go from hook grip to diagonal, in the snatch, even when you're coming down, you're going hook grip, back, diagonal, back to your hook grip, okay? And that's gonna be the game changer at the top of your snatch that makes everything easier. And if you pair those two things together, the turn of the pinky with whatever cue was the most helpful to you, you're going to get a beautiful descent of that kettlebell coming out of the kettlebell snatch. You can even just see it here. Boom, turn the pinky, drop it down to the floor. Wonderful. Keep it simple. It really is just that simple. This is hard style kettlebells. We want to be efficient and just get it done. Now there are two things that I want you to avoid, so I want to talk about them so that you're aware that they can happen. Now we've talked so much about taming this arc and the difference between the clean, snatch, and swing that I kind of sound like a broken record. But one of the things obviously not to do that happens a lot is a lot of people will have a flawless snatch up, right? Bent elbow, and they'll even let it flip. That wasn't my best, but you get the idea. And then on the way down, instead of keeping that bent elbow, they will cast it out, like they're going fishing all the way out. And that's not a good look for the snatch. That's not the arc that we want to achieve. So always remember to keep that elbow bent. Don't just go fishing with it and let it flip. Really own the down part of your snatch. And the next one is that you might be tempted to overgrip the bell and drag it down from the snatch. So you're holding onto it super tight, you're dragging your arm down. And that's not exactly what we want. What we want is a very soft cast. And if we cast the bell out, just like in the swing at the top of the swing, how the bell just kind of falls down and then your hips join it, there's a timing to it. The timing in the snatch is equally as important. Your arm, remember, is not the main driver here. Your hips are. So you really have to time when the snatch comes down to the point that you let those hips drop back. And that's not gonna work by like dragging the bell down. It's hard for me to do it wrong, guys. It's so hard being a kettlebell coach. I just always get it right, just so perfect. I'm kidding, I make mistakes all the time. But I just don't know if that was a clear demo. You don't want to drag the bell down with your arms and go too fast, because that's what that's gonna do, is just pure speed and pure death grip. So just like we said, pour the pitcher, a nice soft cast down, and your hips follow, okay? And then you explode on the way up. So here are two drills that I want you to practice. The first drill, very exciting, is going to be a clean overhead press snatch down, okay? So remember, we're just doing the down part today. So you're gonna just clean from the floor. You can either swing it back or you can clean dead clean, which means from the ground. Don't care how you get it up, clean. Overhead press, find that moment of lockout, make sure you're comfortable up there, you're ready to go. And then when you're ready, think about turning that pinky in and pouring the pitcher down, back to the floor. And then you're just gonna do the same thing over again. Clean press, snatch it down, boom. And you'll notice some little things, like For that one, I was a little wiggly because I'm talking as I'm demoing. You don't want your heels to lift up or your feet or your toes to lift up. So everything's planted and you can kind of feel out where you feel stable, where you don't feel stable until you do enough reps that this just feels natural on the right and on the left side, okay? Then the next drill that you can try, this is not as important as that first drill, so make sure you do that first drill, is going to be your clean. Starting from your clean position, you're gonna swing it back, clean. Then you're gonna move up a little, swing it back, clean it up here, right? So I'm working my way up. Swing it back, clean it up here, right? Swing it back, clean it up here. What? That's just like working your way up to a snatch, essentially. You're bringing your clean to snatch, so your hike back to your, words are hard. Your hike back to your clean, and every time that you send the bell back, you're cleaning it a little higher, and then dropping it a little higher. But the mechanics are the same. So you're pretty much practicing the bottom and the top part of the clean, and this is connecting the clean to the snatch. A little bit more advanced than what we talked about today, but it will prepare you for tomorrow. I hope you had so much fun. That's really all there is to that down part of the clean. Please let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you tomorrow.